Hi there, it's me again, your Lavanya. We are continuing our discussion on Thiruvarutpayan. We are moving on to the fourth chapter. Successfully, with Lord's grace, we have completed 3 chapters. So, in the 5-syllable mantra, which is Sivaya Nama, we have already discussed in the first chapter. The first chapter that we discussed was relating to sea, which is in Sivaya Nama, it is relating to sea. And the second chapter was relating to Ya, which is the soul. The third chapter was relating to Na and Ma, which is basically the entanglement that is encapsulating the soul. And now we are going to talk about the grace. Grace, which is also called as Arul. This is what we are going to talk about from now on in the fourth chapter, which is relating to the syllable Va. So, let us look at the first verse in this particular topic. Arulil periyathu agilathil vendum porulil thalai, ilathu pol. As in, whenever we get a doubt, right, whenever we have a question on something and we are not very clear about it, usually analogies will help us. Analogies, similes, metaphors, all these will give us a very clear picture of what is for us to comprehend the information. Similar to that, here also we are talking about an analogy. The Guru over here specifies one important statement. He says, you know what, Arul, which is the grace, is the most important element for the soul. Now, if we go and ask a question, how do we see that? How do we know that? How do we know there is grace? For that, our Guru is giving a very simple analogy. He says, whatever you may be doing as your profession, as your livelihood, whatever, we may be doing a lot of things. For example, I'm working as a professional, say for example an IT professional. Now, when I'm an IT professional, what is the most important element that I need to have is a computer. Without a computer, I may not be able to work on my profession. So, what is the most important element which is inevitable is computer. Similar to that, let's say I'm a housewife and I'm going to the kitchen to cook something. Say for example, I'm going to make rice. Now, the raw rice is the most important inevitable element without which I won't be able to cook rice. Similar to that, I may be a student. For a student, the most important inevitable item is the book or the pen, for example. And if you talk about any other profession, for example, we talk about whatever it may be, for a guy who's going out to earn money for his living, basically salary is the inevitable factor. So, we talk about the inevitable factor that is around us in whichever profession, whichever work we do, not only in terms of profession, but also whatever we do, right? Now, even if I want to just laze around, I need a couch, that is inevitable. If I want to do an exercise, I need to have some kind of some form of a prop for me to start with my, because without props, I won't be able to start with my exercising. So, which means I need props. So, that becomes an inevitable element. So, whatever you do around us, you will be able to see this relationship. Similar to this, for this soul, what is needed? The inevitable element for the soul is grace. Why? Because without grace, we won't be able to achieve the self-realization state. So, if you talk about realization, how are we going to achieve this realization? Only with the help of grace. So, the grace becomes the inevitable portion. Such a lovely verse for us to start with. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, bye-bye.